Fantasy Philosophers is brought to you by fantasy-info.com.
Some people are looking at Chad Henne as a fantasy sleeper this year, but I do want to caution fantasy owners that right now this team still does have a couple of good running backs and a good offensive line. And remember, they have Bill Parcells in their upper management, and they also have an offensive line coach. And I'd say with a Bill Parcells type team, it's always, I cringe when I hear, oh, they're going to be a heavy pass first team. I mean, sure, we did see Tony Romo take off underneath Bill Parcells, but history dictates that they do tend to want to try to run the ball and play defense. There's going to be probably certain games this year because the Dolphins have a growing defense and they still have some young underneath players that they're just going to give up points early, and so it's going to dictate that Henne should have to throw the ball more. We're starting to see trends maybe there where the secondary is getting blown up against good quarterbacks that are aggressive in the passing game. Those could be some matchups that you might want to take advantage of and maybe throw Chad Henne out there on a bye week or a fill-in, or maybe if a quarterback you have is dinged up or whatnot. Other than that, I do have my concerns with Henne. I mean, other than just the running game, is that he has the hardest schedule to pass against in strength of schedule this year. Now, that can mean some things to certain teams, and sometimes it doesn't. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think Drew Brees had the hardest schedule to pass against last year, but I would say to you that their personnel and Drew Brees' talent overall is much superior than the Dolphins, even with Brandon Marhsall on that team. So with a guy like Chad Henne, I think that is legit. You have to look, okay, we have the Patriots in this division. We have the Buffalo Bills. Let's remember they were second overall against the pass last year, and they had a bunch of picks and turnovers in that secondary, so they are legit, and that was without Dante Whitner. And then they also have, the New York Jets and Darrelle Revis. So we've got three teams here that are pretty darn good against the pass, and the Jets were number one against the pass as well. So number two, number one, and the Patriots, they're getting better. So this is a really tough division to play in. You're probably not going to want to use them in those games too much. Keep those things in mind with Henne. If you're going to take him in deep leagues where he's going to be your backup. If you're in keeper leagues, maybe you can hold on to him. It just depends on the structure of your keeper league, though, and you have to pay attention to different variable factors in those areas for yourself.
For more fantasy football information, go to fantasy-info.com and sign up for our free e-newsletter. Good luck in your 2010 Fantasy Football League. As an added bonus, the Fantasy Info guys will include their 5 secret tips for success in fantasy football.